Go to work. We did it. Come on.
Back for another week. I know you had a big week. You had OP, you had Battlefield, your rivalry game. I know you had a big week.
Yeah.
Forget all that. Forget all that. In the last week, I've watched The Dark Knight. I watched Black Panther.
You cheat, man.
And I watched Infinity War.
I didn't have time to do all that.
What you got going on? What do you have going on? I watched them all.
Yep.
Dark Knight's the best movie.
I don't know how you can really. Well, you didn't watch Avengers, the last one.
I watched Infinity War.
Okay, you watched
Literally
Infinity
did
War.
it yesterday.
I don't know how you can see that one and think that The Dark Knight was the best one. Explain.
Okay, Avengers is a great movie.
No, Infinity War, you say that. My fault. I'm sitting there thinking about Dark Knight and didn't even realize you said Infinity War.
You know why you were thinking about Dark Knight? Because it's the best one.
It's not the best one.
Infinity War is a great superhero movie.
Yes.
Dark Knight is a great movie.
It's a great movie. Listen,
great movie.
That whole trilogy was great in itself anyway.
Yeah.
And I liked it a whole lot. And, especially from a DC Comics perspective, it kind of brought the Batman franchise back.
Yeah.
I just don't see how what MCU has done, even just building up to Infinity War, and then to have Infinity War be what it was. Like, when that movie ended, tell me you didn't have to fight back a couple tears. Tell me. Like, when Spider-Man was sitting there, and for those of y'all who ain't seen the movie yet, I'm sorry, spoilers ahead. But when he said, tell me that you weren't sitting there like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to let you make me do this.
You know what? It wasn't Spider-Man that got me. It was actually Black Panther was the one that was like, oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that one did. Because like you said, it was all the excitement from that. But maybe because it was like Spider-Man because he was a little kid.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, man. But that movie was, the way it ended, and then you sitting there, like thinking about like what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
That movie was, I mean, first of all, like you said, we talked about MCU period. Black Panther before that was a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
Okay? And then, like you said, you follow that up with the Infinity War stuff after him being in the Winter Soldier to come out the first place, when they introduced him.
Yeah. Winter Soldier. Man.
I know you're a big fan of that one.
Oh, that movie to me.
Right. But it's hard for me to go against any of those and pick Dark Knight over any of those. As much as I like it. And that's the thing. It's not like I'm saying, I don't like that movie. Like, I really like them. Like, I'll watch them anytime.
Right. But we can both agree DC has the best characters.
They have the potential to have the best characters.
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Like that.
Wonder Woman was really good too.
Wonder Woman was great.
It was an underrated movie.
No,
I thought that was very good. You know what I'm saying? And obviously the Wonder Woman character, the actress that plays her, she's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
The movie was very good.
Yeah.
They have very good characters and for everything, but I don't know. It's hard for me to go against the Marvel stuff.
You got the Joker. You got Lex Luthor. It's like the stable is amazing.
Well, see, then you mess around with what screws up DC Comics, and then you put out Suicide Squad.
Yeah, no.
It was awful.
It was. Should have just been called Harley Quinn anyway.
Yeah, it was not good.
No.
And they're coming out with a Joker movie soon, aren't they?
Yeah. Heath Ledger's Joker, though.
I mean, listen, they talk about the fact that playing the Joker in a movie, Jack Nicholson told him not to do it because it takes you to a bad place. And clearly it took Heath Ledger to a bad place, God rest his soul. But, he did a crazy job with that. And just the way he walked off from the explosion. It was hilarious from the hospital. So
that opening scene is one of the great opening scenes in any movie.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Like I said, it's one of those things that's your preference. And I know you probably are a DC Comics guy. You would think I was because I'm a big Superman fan. Yeah. Even though most of those movies have disappointed.
Yes.
I was a fan of the Batman Superman movie. A lot of people were not. It was long, but I liked it. I liked what they did with the Justice League movie. I enjoyed that as well. I haven't seen Aquaman yet. I have yet to watch that.
Me too.
I'm afraid that it's not going to be good.
But I can't watch that movie in my house.
I'm just afraid it's not going to be very good.
My wife has a fascination with Aquaman. I can't,
Yeah, but I just have a feeling that it's not going to be as good as it should be.
Probably.
But there's not been one Marvel movie where you felt that way.
I'll tell you, I did not have high hopes for Captain America before like the movies came out. Mm-hmm. They've been great.
Yeah, well, think about how long ago that was.
Yeah, they've been great.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon is brilliant doing the Marvel stuff, but the Marvel movies, and like you said, building the whole universe out that way to lead to Infinity War and all that stuff,
right?
It's been amazing.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Been awesome.
Makeup game against OP on Tuesday?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Came here to this house. Mm-hmm. OP student section was a little chatty with your student section before the game, I noticed.
A little chatty. They got on Twitter, and it's something that you're gonna have to deal with when you've been successful, and people are gonna say some things and try to come at you a certain way because it's exciting for them. But
right.
I was very happy with how our team responded to all of the hype from their side to start the game. But it just, like you said, it adds to the fun of the game with the student sections being the way they are and the fans. I'm all about that. And as long as our kids come out and do what they're supposed to do and handle business, I think we started the game with a 23-0 run after they scored a couple baskets. So we kind of squashed all that hype out real quick. So
it was curtains.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was nice. Mm-hmm.
I'm an idiot. I'm completely distracted by it.
Proud of you.
No. But you know what? I'm trying to, I'm talking a little trash, but I'm trying to fire it up. I think it's a good thing. OP's on the come up. They got a new staff in there. They're rising up. They're coming.
Right.
Good for the area.
It is. I mean, we were kind of, in their boat a couple years ago. Wasn't a whole lot of success, and we were able to turn it around. So it does nothing but improve our league and makes it better and competition-wise. And it's good to see them have some games where they're in it now. And I know that they played Osborne the other day, and the final score was 53-50 against Osborne. So obviously they're competitive at this point. I don't mind winning, and I don't mind winning by a lot. So we were able to do that with I think we ended up winning by 27. So I'm happy with that.
I'm shocked that you don't mind winning by a lot.
No, it's good for me. Yeah.
Sleep a little bit better?
Exactly.
Sleep a little bit sooner?
Yes. Everybody gets in the game. It's fun for the bench guys, so I'm happy with that.
Good. Well, you finish up that game. We talked about it a little last week, and then you jump right into your biggest rival.
Yeah. I mean, it's a crazy environment. They also had a GBA spirit night that night, so it made it even more kind of hectic with the kids coming out before the game and high-fiving, which is great. I'm glad that they were able to do that. Our student section was great. Our fans were great.
Yeah.
We came out. It was a tough battlefield. Every time you play a rival, it's going to be something where it's kind of back and forth and nip-tuck for a while, and then we were able to go on a run. I thought we had great contributions from guys that necessarily don't get a whole lot of press. Jackson Ford was amazing off the bench for us in that game. We were missing a couple guys that are in our rotation, some with Lance Gaskins being out with an ankle, and Ellis Neri was out with a groin injury. So Jackson played more minutes than he had in the past and did a great job with that. Griffin Flanagan kind of toughed through a little bit of a back thing that he had going on. He had been shooting the ball real great, but he's a tough kid. Alan Davis had some good minutes for us. Zach Blue was excellent coming off the bench handling the basketball and finding guys and not turning it over. And then, of course, Devin being who he is. Yusuf Saleh, I thought had his best game of the season. Had about 14 points and 6 rebounds, but made timely shots and was very efficient. And then Hagen Van Diver just running the show.
Yusuf is young justice. That's all I think about.
Now listen, if he turns into somebody like that, then that's going to be good for us. I'm glad that he's keeping his confidence. I know he had some struggles early on, and but we know how good of a player he is. So to see him play the way that we thought he was going to do all year is great for us, and obviously going forward towards the end of the regular season.
Yeah. Big Spirit Night, GBA, Gainesville Basketball Association, the local program around here. How important is it for you because let's face it, a lot of the players that you've had, a lot of the players that Battlefield has had, have come out of the GBA program.
Yep.
How important is it for you to have a connection with GBA?
It's extremely important. Before they start their season, they have us coaches come and talk to their coaches, and to have the kids come around. We run camps in the summer. We try to get as many of them there as possible and send a blast out on their website. So having those kids come in, get used to seeing us, and because sooner or later they're going to be in high school and probably be playing for us if they're good enough. So that's a big deal for us to have them around and be able to come and see that and be in that environment and hopefully be a part of that and be excited about it.
So I know a lot of youth football organizations and high schools have done stuff in the past where the youth coaches will kind of do clinics and stuff with the high school coaches to run the same type of system. Is that something that's done in basketball, or is that something that's even possible to do in basketball?
It's funny you bring that up, is because I talked to the directors there about running a coaching clinic for those coaches or those that would want to come by for it. It's kind of something we spoke about before the season and we couldn't really get it rolling. Next year I'm hoping that we can do that, or it's kind of something they can come for kind of half a day and hear us talk and the assistants talk and see the way that we do stuff. What they do right now is on Saturdays that they'll come by a practice and watch, which I have no problem with. Anybody can come and watch anytime that they want and get some information or some pointers or something they can do. So the clinic is definitely something that I had in my mind as something that I want to do going forward, because anything we can do to help them, and obviously in the long run ends up helping us.
Right. Well, it's just, and the two sports are so different in that regard. Because football, you can have a system that you run. You can have a yearly system that you run. You run it year in, year out. Basketball, it's a little bit different because you got to adjust to the guys that you got.
I always say, and this even talking with our JV and freshman coaches, they say, Coach, you want us to run the same stuff you are. I said, I just want you to have the same defensive principles. Okay. That's really all I care about. But offensively, I can't tell you what to run because your personnel might be completely different than mine. Half-court defense is going to be half-court defense. We want you to be in the correct position, help-wise, knowing what to say, when to say it, where to be. So those are the things that I would kind of press for them to do. But as far as, we want you to run the same exact system as us. Well, the plays that we run this year are completely different than the plays we ran last year. Right. Because our personnel changed. We had a point guard that was a great guy going downhill, getting to the rim. Hagan's completely different from him. So, Drake was a different basketball player than Devin is. And we don't have a Jay Villani, who was a guy that we wanted to run off a lot of pin-down screens to get open jump shots. So we're running some different things. We obviously have Ja'Kai in the middle and we throw the ball in the post a little bit more. So I don't want to say this is the system you need to be doing, because when they get here, we're going to be doing this. We might be doing something completely different by the time they get to school. So I would never tell them to do that.
All right. No, Gainesville basketball is a great organization. They got some terrible coaches, I'll say that. This one. But Bruce Bauer over there, shout out to him. He's great.
They do a good job.
They do.
Obviously, my boys play in the association, going to watch the games. It's good to watch.
It is. Now, one thing I'll say is things you don't really think about as far as leagues and teams and stuff. Went to have pictures taken there. Easiest picture taking process I've ever been a part of.
It seems like it was. I wasn't there, but it just didn't seem like it was something that was very strenuous, because picture day is stressful.
It is.
Even for high school.
Coming down the stretch. What you got this week?
It's crazy to think about, but we only have 3 more regular season games. It seemed like it just snuck up on us. We only have 1 this week. We have Stonewall on Tuesday. Obviously a tough team that's athletic and will attack you off the dribble, so we have to be ready for that. First time we played him, we didn't have Ja'Kai, so that'll be great to have him there as rim protection. So, that's the only game we have on Tuesday, and then we're off the rest of the week, so I can actually get out and go watch some of the other teams in the region, which is good.
Do a little coaching during the week?
Well, what we'll probably do is one of those days we won't have anything, and maybe another day be some shooting, and then we'll get back to having full practice. It's that time of year where guys got little nicks and bruises, and we want to kind of be as healthy as possible going into playoff time.
I'm glad you said that. That gives you time this week. I think before the end of this show, we should end the show with a coach dunk. I'm telling you, I've seen pictures
of me.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
But I'm thinking,
a long time ago.
I've seen all these guys kicking down doors. No.
I need some time to get ready for that, because that is something that I have not done in a good while.
I would do that, but I think it'd be much better for you to do it.
Yeah, I need some time to get right for that.
Come on.
Might be a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Yeah.
But
Flashbacks.
I've got to know ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because I got to be there.
Yeah, of course.
Because if it goes wrong, it'd be terrible.
I would make sure that you're there so it's documented. 'Cause here's the thing, to date myself. The problem is when I tell these kids about how I won the dunk contest and the Hoops Fest, the first thing they say, we want to see footage. I'm like, there isn't any.
No.
You know, they didn't just have camera phones out and YouTube and all that stuff.
No.
And the game tapes that I have is on like VHS.
Yeah.
So when I show them pictures, they're like, oh, that's not Russ. So you think I went to the newspapers that make me a fake picture of me dunking on something? So it's very interesting. So.
But you didn't grow up in the world of Photoshop. They did.
Know.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
they
like,
have,
guys,
so they know you can doctor.
I couldn't even tell you how to do that.
Right.
And clip art was hard enough to do.
Oh. That was the worst, man. That was the worst.
Right. So.
Oh. That. Like the video cameras were like this, every camera.
Yeah.
Like for people to buy were like this big.
Huge.
Yeah, they were enormous.
Yeah, it's like a boombox.
Yeah. You did. You had one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Did you just walk out, put it down, put your foot up and start dancing on it? Come on.
No, I didn't do that.
I don't believe you.
I tell you what, one day we'll get Coach Johnson up here, have him do some break dancing for you. He's all with the pop and lock and all
Really?
that stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you hear that? You're gonna be here for that. We're gonna make that happen.
All right, so we got it. Dunk, pop and lock. That's the way that's the way you take the team into the playoffs.
There you go.
So you got a short time to get ready for that.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Now you've got some extra time this week, or do you know who you're going to go get out and see?
Well, Friday we're gonna have to just divide and conquer. There's a lot of different games going on. Obviously, trying to get out and see teams like South County, Lake Braddock, and obviously we've seen South Lakes because we played them, but maybe McLean. I know they're in first in their district, so. If we can find a way to get out and see most of these teams and get an idea of what's going on, just so we can say we saw it, because word of mouth is different, and it'd be nice to know what exactly Lake Braddock is doing to be scoring all of those points. I hear the stories and I see the scores, but I haven't seen it myself in person, and I can imagine how it looks. So I think I just want to do that just for entertainment purposes, not even so much from a scouting standpoint.
You should see it.
Yeah.
You should see it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got other teams like Fairfax. I know that they've had some losses as of late, but had a hot start to their season. So if we can get out and see some of these teams and get an idea of what's going on, and obviously then take care of business on our end and finish out the regular season how we hope to, and that'll give us the automatic 1 seed going into the region if we can win the regular season. So that'd be great.
A little bit important.
It is. It is. So. Right now we have a 2-game lead, which because we're the only undefeated team, Osborne's got 2 losses. So we have Stonewall Tuesday, then the following Tuesday after that will be Osborne. We clearly need to win both of those to make sure it's not something where we have to rely on other scenarios and tiebreakers. So the best thing you can just do is just win out. And you always want to control your own destiny, which is great that we can do that. So.
Well, and you'd always much rather be a coach than a mathematician this time of year, trying to put together.
I do not like math. I'm not a big math fan. So
there you go.
Yeah, and I'm a history teacher, so math is not my thing.
There's a reason for that.
Exactly.
There you go. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
No curtains.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Let's go to work. We did it.